Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Well, it's always exciting to go out to your mailbox and find the Iowa History Journal waiting for you when you get the mail. Or maybe the Making Waves book that Michael Swanger happens to be reading right now, publisher and owner of the Iowa History Journal. Hello, Michael. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Michael.
Hi, Lou. How are you? I'm sorry I got caught up in this book by our mutual friend, Professor Jeff Stein. It's fascinating. You know, it's a great story about the history of radio. I just thought it was kind of a timely read.
Oh, a timely read. Yeah, it's a timely read. Also, if you grab the latest installment of the Iowa History Journal, you might have some Professor Jeff Stein articles popping up over the next couple of months, right?
Oh, we certainly do. And really, who better to ask, as you know, than the man who wrote the book about it. I guess we don't get any originality points for the headline since we kind of stole the idea from his book. But Jeff was kind enough to ink our cover story for our new March-April issue, which is the first of his 3-part series, Making Waves. And as we celebrate the centennial of commercial radio in Iowa. Can you believe it? 100 years of radio in Iowa.
It really is a fascinating story. Just some of the highlights. Why don't you touch on some of the highlights in Jeff's article?
You bet. Well, on the cover, for example, Lou, we have a photo of B.J. Palmer, who bought WOC, which was the first commercial radio station in Iowa in 1922. He bought it from its original owner over in Rock Island, Illinois, moved it to the Palmer School of Chiropractic so that they could promote what they do at the college, and set it up there on Brady Street. And that was, they hit the air toward the end of February. I believe it was February 25th, 1922, that Jeff was writing about. And that was the first time. And within a month, there were 11 other stations, commercial stations on the air across Iowa. And Jeff touches on some of the pioneers of commercial radio in Iowa, such as Douglas Texburum with WJAM out of Cedar Rapids, who converted a garage into a radio station there in CR, as well as there's a great photo of Art Shepard, also from Cedar Rapids, who was the first Iowa broadcaster who did a live man on the street show. He was only the second broadcaster in the U.S. to do it.
And I might want to add, there's a really funny story we can't get into on TV here, but there's a really funny story involved with that man on the street. Imagine this, with somebody on the street just walking up and having a microphone in hand and asking somebody who doesn't know that you're live a question, and they give you a very honest answer, and that's what they talk about.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. You're right. We'll leave it for the suspense of your viewers here to go find the story and read about it. But no, it was one of those great moments, and it kind of changed the way they formatted that show and Man on the Street shows thereafter. So yeah, I mean there's all kinds of stations involved in the story too. Of course, WHO and Dutch Reagan and KFJB out of Marshalltown, which is the longest continuously operating radio station with its original call letters, and they're a big part of Iowa, the history of radio in Iowa. And I won't give too much away, but in the second part of our series for the May-June issue, Jeff is going to write quite a bit about KFJB's role in broadcasting sports live for the first time. So a lot of interesting history. I don't think we think about it being a centennial. It doesn't seem possible that it would be 100 years, and obviously how much it's shifted the culture and of our country and our state over the years.
Yeah, we could spend all day talking about this because of our passions on this. But here, let's just touch real quickly on a couple other things that are inside of the latest edition of the Iowa History Journal.
You bet. We have another story about the Robert D. Ray Asian Gardens in Des Moines, and about how that was founded with the refugees from the war-torn countries of Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. We have another story about the farmers' strike of 1932, where farmers were blocking roads, especially in western Iowa and Sioux City and Council Bluffs, protesting low prices and government inaction. We have another story about actress Margaret Lindsay. I wrote my column about the 175th anniversary of the University of Iowa, which, think about this, Lou. The University of Iowa was established 59 days after Iowa became a state.
Wow.
Amazing. to think about how much history there is. And of course, they're celebrating it all year long. In the spring, they have exhibits that are open to the public in their museums and on campus and other locations. So that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg of everything that's in this issue.
Yeah, one of the more fun things too on page 26, the quiz. You can take the quiz and just test on how much you learned from this installment of the Iowa History Journal. People want to get a copy of this. Where can they get it?
They can get it at iowahistoryjournal.com or Beaverdale Books in Des Moines. It'll hit newsstands at Hy-Vee starting this weekend on March 12th and other locations. But if you go to our website, you can get it now. You don't have to wait.
That is great. Michael Swanger, will you take care of yourself? And thank you so much. And we look forward to Professor Stein's article, the first of a 3-part series about radio being 100 years old right here in the state of Iowa. Take care, and thank you, my friend.
You as well. Thank you, Lou. Take care.
All right, everybody, get out there and enjoy a teeny-weeny bit of warmth that's got there right now after all the snow we got in the past 24 hours. And we will see you tomorrow on Iowa Live.